Alright, here we go. Got a little celebratory drink right here. This one's from my local brewery, Wandering Hop. This one's called Tiramisu Time, coming in at 10%. So we got some info right here on the side. Looks like they did a little collaboration with the local coffee maker, Lincoln Avenue Coffee Company. And it says, this classic Italian pick-me-up Imperial Stout was brewed with loads of vanilla cream wafers, opal, 22 malt from Mecca Grade Estate Malt, confectioner's vanilla bean sauce, and Lincoln Ave Company's Coca-Fellow Especial, whatever that means. Expect an aroma of boozy coffee and sweet vanilla finish. When there's coffee involved, any time can be tiramisu time. So there's the little write-up right there for you guys. Let's go ahead and crack this bad boy, and we will get going on this shave. So I got my Wandering Hop Tiku here. Got a nice dark looking stout here. Ooh. Oh baby. Alright. So this is what we're looking at. Let's give it a sniff. Definitely get the coffee on the nose. Okay. Good amount of coffee. And some nice vanilla sweetness. And then just overall a pretty viscous, sweet, bold stout. Not a whole lot of warmth in the chest, which is a good thing. Well, I guess some people like it, some people don't. It's not super hot, which makes it, a little bit dangerous because it's sweet and doesn't taste too boozy. It's drinkable, really drinkable. I dig it. Okay. We're going to be using some of the Club Signature today. And this is in the old Club A&E formula before all the iterations were being made and all that jazz. Pre-Kaizen. Old formula. Really good stuff. Let's go ahead and wet the face. So I figured I would break out a big stout for today's video because I watched my video post on the Razor Company today. It was about beard care. And they didn't edit it really at all. They put their watermark at the bottom and just left it as is. And they told me, good job, and they were like, maybe have a more professional intro, and they gave me kind of some examples that they would like to see. And so I was like, I can easily introduce that into my videos, no problem. But they didn't fuck with my video at all. They left it as is, including me drinking at the end a beer and including me having, a minor little curse word, which I was kind of, like I said, I'm not trying to push the envelope, but it came out. And instead of reshooting the video, I was like, well, let's just see if they meant what they said about, minimize cursing, but not necessarily no cursing allowed. So I kind of pushed the envelope a little bit. Like I said, not on purpose, but just trying to, the video was shot. I wasn't going to reshoot it unless I had to. And they obviously didn't have a problem with it, so we moved right ahead. So that was pretty exciting for me. And really, I was thrilled to kind of see my videos on another platform like that, which surely is gonna outgrow me in no time. Okay, so we got a special razor that you guys saw on my unboxing. You can see it has a gem style blade in there, and this one is called the EndGem Speed. Let's see if it'll focus. There it is, EndGem Speed. So I believe this is based on a razor that's called Ender's Speed. And this one is actually 3D printed. Really lightweight. It's got a gem blade on its second use. Let me go ahead and attempt to remove this blade. There it goes. Okay, so you see the design right here. They said do not slide it in through the side because then you'll end up just raking it across the plastic, which the razor blade will do damage to it. So I said grab the blade on the sides, sort of like that, and then insert it rather from the front. And then you just kind of take it all the way to the back. And it goes in really easy, surprisingly. This top cap creates downward pressure. Let's see if it'll focus. And you just want to make sure that the blade is all the way against the back rest stop. And one way you can do that, if you just get like both hands and just kind of use that backward pressure with your thumbs and your fingers, and then there you will have it. So, and you can see it right there resting in place. There it is. So let's give this a shot. It's going to be interesting. I know gems have a little bit steeper of an angle. It's funny because you don't see any safety guard. It's just open blade more or less. I'm kind of like a little bit speechless, a little bit weary, to be honest. But you know what's so funny about it is it's so smooth. It's so fucking smooth. There's like no real safety bar. And I'm just sitting here like exposed, you know, with like an exposed blade. The handle is stubby, and the overall razor is really lightweight. I'm just kind of sitting here in awe with how this feels and how this is shaving. Wow. I gotta be honest, guys, this is a very smooth shaver. Now, these razors, these ones aren't necessarily adjustable, but they do come in 3 different aggressions. So let me pull out the other 2 just so I can show you guys. Okay. So let's see if I can hold these up here. Okay, so this one has 1 dot directly underneath. That is, the 1 dot is mild. This one has 3 dots underneath. The 3 dot is their more efficient. And then the one that I'm shaving with today has the 2 dots, which is kind of like their medium efficiency. Just figured I'd show you that. So, I don't think I mentioned it on today's video, but I did mention it on my unboxing that these were sent to me in a really huge act of kindness from Roger Quintero, which I had zero previous interactions with. Like, none. Never talked to the guy, never heard of the guy. He was a complete stranger to me until he popped up in my comments inquiring about my 3D printed shaving bowl, which he claimed was his design. And what was funny about that, what was curious about that, was that the bowl was made by someone else, Tony Dellett. So, basically, he was kind of saying, like, you know, that bowl is my design, and somebody just added a few bumps to it and called it their own and made a profit off it. Now, I'm not here to get into that. Like, obviously, it's none of my business. And I don't know Tony Dellett either. So, really, these gentlemen can work that out amongst themselves. And, you know, everybody can take their own thoughts and beliefs on that. But, what he did, rather than going, you know, crazy to the left and, you know, being upset, instead he told me, you know, check for yourself. I have my design up on this website, and he provided a link, and he said, you know, I have all this other gear there that I've designed as well. And so I went and checked it out, because I was curious, and he had all these different types of razor designs, shaving bowls, brush stands. I mean, really cool stuff. And so, including this bowl, if you're curious, he definitely had an exact of this bowl, including a scuttle version, which has, you know, you can put some water in a well within the bowl to kind of keep your lather warm, which now I'm pretty interested in getting, you know, the scuttle version. But I told him, hey man, how do I get my hands on some of these razors you have here? And he told me, you know, I can make them for you. Which ones are you interested in? And I told him, and he told me, you know, give me your address, I'll send them over. And I was like, well, how much do I owe you? And he was like, oh, I don't charge people. And I think that's kind of where he was upset that someone was turning a profit. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but this is just what I took from our conversation. I could have misunderstood, but I think, you know, he was like, I don't charge people. This design is there for, you know, people to use. I think other 3D printers can kind of freely take his design and use it, but then it's kind of a dick move to turn around and make a profit off of someone else's design. I get it. I'm not going to get into that, but I get it. And so I was like, you know, surely let me pay for shipping. And no, he provided the whole thing. He just said, hey, it's my contribution to your channel. I don't know if he's a long-time subscriber or if that's the first time he's ever heard of me. You know, he just stumbled upon my channel. But he sent along a ton of stuff. like I showed in my mail call video. He sent along a ton of stuff, and I was just thrilled and wowed by his generosity. Realistically, he sent along 3 razors, although it's kind of like 5 total, because 3 of the razors are these EndGems that are, you know, different aggressions or different efficiencies. And then he sent me one that was an adjustable that had kind of like a base plate system, an adjustable base plate system. And then he sent another standalone razor as well that I didn't ask for, he just tossed in. So really, really generous. And this first go with the EndGem on the medium aggression has went really well thus far. It's a smooth shaver. I haven't felt no funkiness from maybe, you know, the blade coming free. It looks like it's still sitting in place just as it should be. It hasn't moved or anything like that. You know, I'll agree and admit the way that it's loaded is a bit sketchy. The way that you load and unload the blade. But I think if you're careful and mindful of where your fingers are, and you're not trying to, you know, exert too much pressure or anything like that, and you're just careful about loading and unloading it, I think you should be fine. It's rather easy to load and unload, but you just got to kind of get used to it because it's a bit different than anything, you know, I've ever came across in the wet shaving world. But it works well as a design. As you can see here, it's still, the blade is still all the way back in the in its rest, so it hasn't moved at all throughout the course of the shave. So very nice. Razor worked really well. Had good feedback. Of course, I'm a fan of the gem style razors, and they do give me really good shaves. The Kaizen, or not Kaizen, the old soap base from the club gave me a really nice, slick platform to take this razor out on its first test run. And really everything just worked. Everything just worked, and it was a really nice shave. Let's go ahead and kind of feel around on the neck and see just how efficient it was. Feeling around. I would say definitely a damn fine shave. I think if I bumped it up to that number 3, the 3 dot, that more efficient base plate, I think we'll get an easy BBS. But I'm always happy with the damn fine shave. Can't complain about that at all. Smooth, comfortable shave with a really cool 3D printed razor. I've never shaved with anything like that before. Super lightweight, if you're a fan of that sort of thing. Kind of a different style handle that I've never used a razor handle like that either. It's comfortable. Sat in the hand well, and the texture knurling gave me some good, aided in my grip. So really nothing at all to complain about that EndGem Speed razor. So big thanks to Roger Quintero for sending all those along. It performed really well, bro. Performed really well, and I'm just grateful for this sort of experience and to have people with that kind of generosity in the wet shaving community. Alright, I'll get the rest of the lather off cam since we did a lot of talking. Gonna take a little swig though. So I did get in on the original release of Signature, and so they came in these little decanters with the cork top. I'll get that off. Now, of course, this is the definition of a shit stricter right here. There is zero restriction to this, and if you do not cover it properly, like I'm going to do here, I'm going to cover the vast majority of the opening, leaving only a small space for it to come out of. If you don't cover it, it'll come out. It will come flying out. So I suggest you do something like I just demonstrated. Put your thumb over the vast majority of the surface and then just kind of give it a little jiggle. But make sure you have a solid grip on it, because you don't want your aftershave to go tumbling down to the countertop. Okay, and this Signature scent is just so fucking good. Warm, sweet, spicy, masculine. I love it. Woods, bourbon, tobacco. Can't go wrong with that combo. So, thank you guys for joining me. Fucking Roger Quintero, man. Fantastic. Fantastic little razor. Alright. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate the support. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.